Hey, how you guys doing? This is William Myers, Mantisoutdoors, and I get a lot of pictures and questions on Facebook, like, "Hey, this is growing in my yard. What is this?" Or, and pictures from the woods and things like that. So we're gonna go through my yard real quick, and we're just gonna show you the majority of the plants that are in my yard, and hopefully that'll help dispel any mysteries about what some of them are in your yard. Obviously, we're in a city. We got cars and kids, so please excuse the noise. But let's go ahead and see if we can show you some of the things that are hopefully in your yard. Obviously, if you live in California and parts of Florida and southern United States, it's going to be completely different for you. But the majority of the country usually has most of these plants. So let's go over here. I guess we can start out. Well, we can start out over here. I get a lot of this. This is a mulberry. Megan hates those. They grow everywhere. We got some maples over here. You can tell maple. All right. So those are not really, they're plants, but they're trees. But anyway, these are red clovers, and these are white clovers. Show you the difference. They'll grow often very, very close to each other, but they are two different species. White clovers, in my opinion, don't taste very good. Red clovers taste amazing and sweet. All right, here are some violets. We don't have the flower. Well, we have one old flower right down here, but these are the leaves of the violet.
And that's a majestic Taco Bell wrapper.
Yeah. Well, we are in the city, so we get trash. We gotta come out here and clean before we know. All right, this is narrow leaf dock. Or, I'm sorry. Woo! This is narrow plantain. Sorry. I know where some dock is. I got 3 different species of dock on this property. But Evie, I'm doing a video. So this is narrow leaf dock, and I did it again. Narrow leaf plantain. This is narrow leaf plantain, and you can always tell the Plantago species because these deep veins, and if you pull these up, this is always a key indicator. If you can see, the stem is sort of like a canoe. That's how the rosette channels water into the roots. That's one kind of key indicator. Got some strawberries down here. Got a strawberry coming right through. Yeah.
What about this stuff?
Okay, right here. This is a common one that I get sent to me. This is actually common mallow. Okay. So this stuff is actually, some people nickname this cheeses, because if you see here where the flowers grow, after the flowers grow, it buds out. Here's one that's starting. And what's in there is a flower right now, but after it's done flowering, it'll have like almost a nut to it. And that nut is really good. It actually contains protein. One of the few things out here that does. And then right in front of it, this is wood sorrel.
Tasty.
Yeah, very, very good. It's one of my kids' favorites. All right. More narrow leaf dock. Oh my gosh, why do I keep calling it dock? Narrow leaf plantain.
Hang on, Evie.
Narrow leaf plantain there. All right, so let's go over here this side. This is another common one that I get. You're gonna have to kind of come over here where you're out of the shade. This is gill over the ground, or trumpets, as it's sometimes called. People make teas out of this, stuff like that. I don't think it's very good. Let's move on. Here we showed narrow leaf plantain. This is broadleaf plantain. Again, you see that canoe that channels water into the middle of the rosette here, and those deep veins on the back. Very quickly, let's move on. Now, kind of want to make a quick video. There's also another common one that I get. And I think the reason why I commonly get this one is because of its coloration. And in nature, colorations usually mean like poison or bad or things like that. That's why really bright colored frogs are poisonous, and you know, that's just a nature's way of saying, hey, I'm deadly. But that's not the case here. This is just purple dead nettle, and it's Lemniaceae. It's in the mint family. You can tell that by its square stem. And there you go, purple dead nettle. All right, let's move on. Well, okay, let's not move on then. What we have here is poke. This is pokeweed, and this is too old to eat, but to me it's too old to eat. After I start to see more of the stem down here, I would call this not good. You'd have to boil the heck out of this to make it good. But pokeweed is good. Poke salad is a southern staple, but this is too big. But after it gets so big, it's either inedible or it takes too long to boil, in my opinion. Okay, violets all through there, purple dead nettle. Here's a good one. This is garlic mustard. This stuff's good. A little trailside nibble, or you can make, I know a lot of people make pestos out of this. I haven't done that for years, but garlic mustard is a very incredibly invasive species that grows rampant. So, you know, all these species that are, you know, really crazy growers, I suggest we use them, you know, like parsnip, things like that. Use them, eat them, take advantage of them. They grow so fast, they take over. Just make use of them.
Oh, thank you, Evie.
Some grass. Okay.
And of course,
Yeah, dandelions. Everybody knows
dandelions. Very yummy.
Very yummy.
Alright, so what we have here is Japanese knotweed, and most of the time when people see this growing in their yard, they start like freaking out, like, oh gosh, this stuff's just gonna take over. Again, the same thing with the garlic mustard. Just use it, you know, just all throughout the growing season, just use the stuff, you know, and at the end of the season, dig up the roots and dry them, slice them and dry them, soak them in alcohol, and that's tincture for this season, you know, this type of season, tick season, you know, for Lyme disease and things like that. Tons of resveratrol, and more than, like, you know, grapes and red wine and stuff like that. It contains a little bit. The roots of the Japanese knotweed contain a lot of resveratrol. So I'm probably saying that a little bit wrong, but still my message is there. This is an amazing trailside nibble. One of my favorite, just a little snack on. You know, it tastes like a sour apple, kind of, in my opinion, like a Granny Smith. So really good trailside nibble. Good thing to know about. But you see on the stem, if we can get a good shot of that, see those purple flakes. Now you see those purple flakes, but you see this big hand-sized leaf right here. You know, I mean, that's huge. But those purple flakes freak people out because of this.
Oh, yes.
Because of this. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that down there. I don't even like touching this plant, to be honest with you. But this is poison hemlock. And the brain alkaloids that are on this can actually seep through the skin osmosisly if you have a ton of the juice on you. But, you know, this is the plant that Socrates asked for a tea made of when it was time for him to go. What I have growing right here, I'm going to eliminate soon, but what is growing right here would kill my whole family and then some. So we're going to have to get rid of it. But, you know, people see the Japanese knotweed, you know, the purple flaking that's through it. Oh, that looks just like the same that's on poison hemlock. You would never in a million years mistake Japanese knotweed for poison hemlock because of the size of that leaf.
Yeah.
All right here, this is a pretty poor example of, but this is a broadleaf dock.
Whoa, I found it, Daddy.
That's a broadleaf dock. Okay, over here. This is a burdock. And this plant, if you know this plant, this is an important plant to know, because this is food. I mean, this is a lot of food. Sometimes this plant can have a root system that grows 8-10 feet sometimes. I mean, it's a lot of digging to get to it because it's absolutely vertical, you know? So it's not like a rhizome that grows against the ground. It grows 8-9 foot sometimes down. Not saying all of them do, but I've seen pictures of some that are bigger than, you know, really big guys. But and that root can be peeled and boiled and tastes great. Daughter's getting cranky. But all right, let's see. I think that's kind of all I wanted to show you. I think, pretty sure. I think my ADD will kick in here in a minute. I'll remember something. But let's go back and look at that Japanese knotweed. That's from a strawberry.
Okay.
All right, so the Japanese knotweed here. One of the really good things about it, I don't remember where this is. You know, like I said, it's a really good trailside nibble. But if we want to get this first layer off, and to do that, I just like you've seen, I'll simply break the stalk in half, and then I'll peel it just like this. It's important. The reason why I'm going so slow is because I'm going to show you something. Is that peels straight off just like that.
Yeah.
And peels down.
Yeah.
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 And then we can curl around, take another big strip. And I'm getting in big strips for a reason.
Daddy.
I love you too. Now we got that stripped up. And you just kind of chew on it just like that. But come over here to my tree stump and I'll show you something. What?
Damn it, Deadpool.
All right, so I got these really big strips here. I'm just kind of lay them down. This Japanese knotweed I've found makes cordage that is stronger. Makes cordage just stronger than dogbane, and that's really, really strong cordage. That's the leaf of Japanese knotweed.
I found it.
Everybody's bringing me plants.
She found a piece of grass.
Yep.
Thanks, Evie.
Thank you, baby.
Listen, Daddy.
Oh my goodness.
You want it? You need to lay down a little bit.
Megan. All right, so we could just kind of clip this off. Okay. Gratuitous mantis shot. Sospies.
So shiny.
All right, so I've already got one started here. And this is 2-ply reverse wrap cordage. And this stuff is really fibrous and really strong. That's why you can't just pick the Japanese knotweed and eat it just as it is, because that outer layer is really fibrous. But I've showed in videos before how to do this, but I'll just kind of go through a little short tutorial. Tortoise. Because I'm almost at a spot where I need to splice in. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my top strand just like this, and I'm twisting that away from me. And then with this finger, I'm picking up that bottom string and I'm turning it. Process all over again. Spin, top, grab bottom, turn it away toward. So right now, this is getting really thin, so I want to splice in a fresh piece. We can just do this one right here. Now all I do is I splice it in, advancing proud of the cordage that I'm making, just like this. And then I spin it just like I would the regular cordage. Away, and then I start on my way toward, away toward, and then this piece is now spliced in, and it's gonna stay that way. And that's how we make cordage. And that's another frequently asked question that I get, is how do I make 2-ply reverse wrap cordage? There you go. It's a small demo. Making a foot or two of this ain't nothing. Making 50 foot of this stuff take you all day. But that splice that we did, we just come in here, chop it, never even knew it was there. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it's just a little short walk through my yard to show you guys the plants that are in my yard. Like I said, I get pics and videos and things like that. I have questions about some of the plants that are in people's yards. Some of them are actually very afraid. You know, hey, is this poisonous? I have kids, on and on. So hopefully this will help somebody out. You know, they'll see this video, say, oh, okay, so it's not poisonous, or it is. In my case, I have poison hemlock in my backyard. But again, hope you enjoyed this video. Appreciate all your views, comments, and support, and we'll see you on the next one.